Hi, this is Derek Murphy of creativeindeed.com. I'm making this video to show you some of the things that I've been working on recently, specifically to promote a book with print materials. I don't recommend using print materials because I don't think it's usually worth the money to go to a live event and try to make a connection with readers one-to-one. Depends on the type of event and how much work it takes you. But for example, I'm going to London in like a week for a Comic-Con. There will be a lot of people there. There'll be a lot of young adult readers. There's a whole young adult reader section with some pretty big best-selling authors in the young adult space. So I bought a table in that room, which is pretty good for me as an indie author because it puts me on the same level as these other traditional authors. So as long as I present myself professionally, I'm in the right location. But it's still a big effort. It'll cost a lot of money to go there. And I doubt that I'll be able to actually reach as many people as I could reach for much less by doing online stuff like Facebook advertising, which would cost less and reach more people, which is why I normally don't do events, and I don't really recommend doing events. However, sometimes it's good to do events, especially because if you can take pictures of yourself with other best-selling authors, if you can take pictures of yourself doing a live event in a professional way, those pictures can help solidify your online brand, your persona, and make you look more professional so you're not just like an online self-published indie author. So you've got to do it well. You've got to have well-designed print materials. What a lot of indie authors do is they take a book that's not selling already, probably because the cover isn't good enough or the description of the reviews isn't good enough, and then they go to a live event because they're trying to sell that book which isn't selling online, and they try to sell it in person. What they should have done is fixed their initial platform. So if you have a book that's not selling, going to try to sell it in person is probably not a good idea. But if you have a book that's selling okay already online, which means the cover is decent, the description, the reviews are all good enough, then your product is good enough, then you might want to do print materials or live events. You don't want to go to an event that's just another author event, and you don't really want to go to a book conference because you really want to be in an event that's attracting your ideal readers of your target genre. Otherwise, you might give out like 1,000 flyers, but only 50 of those people actually read the type of book that you're promoting. A lot of people will just take free flyers, or they think like they're helping you out. They see you alone at a table and they think that they're doing a nice thing by taking one of your flyers to show support, even if they don't read your genre, which is a waste of your time and the investment that you paid to make those flyers because you're losing that lead. But I'll show you what I've been making. This is Shearwater, which is one of the first print books. Whoops, it looks like my video is behind. Which happens. I just bought a new computer, so it doesn't happen. Hold on. So I'll try this again. This is Shearwater, which looks okay because I designed it. This is only half the book though, so I haven't really been promoting any print books because I'm only doing half books to build my platform so that I'm building up to my real launches of the print book. So I'm not promoting print books yet. And I don't want to go to a book con, like I don't want to fly to London with 100 of these books because it costs a lot to produce. I probably won't sell that many. So what I did instead was make these mini booklets, which is kind of fun. So the same book looks like this. It's only like the first 4 chapters of the book. It cost me less than $1 to make these booklets, which is kind of a lot compared to flyers, but my bet is that rather than just a flyer that they take and probably don't actually look you up later, with this, they start reading right away, or they can start reading right away. So they're actually getting into the story, which makes it much more likely that they'll sign up to get more later. And it looks kind of like this inside. So it's basically, I took the same formatting and I changed it to an A6 size, which is a pretty standard. It's 1/4 of an A4 sheet of paper. So you actually print it out on A5 which is 1/2 of an A4 paper, about like that. And so I got these done in a local print shop, and this is just the paper. So it's kind of, it wasn't that hard to do, it wasn't very expensive. And I just took my print covers and I just took the spine off. So I basically just used the front and the back of my print covers and resized them a bit for the A6 size. But these are kind of fun, and they're also kind of fun because nobody else has really done these before. It's kind of a nice, cool marketing idea that somebody has done before. So even if it's a waste of money in regards to book marketing for my fiction, it's still a good idea for my platform, because by doing something unique and novel that's kind of interesting, people can share, like as a book marketing idea that people think is cool, people will share that. Once I ordered like 400 of these, so once those come, I'll be able to take some pretty cool pictures of the project, and it's likely that other people who are interested in book marketing or are doing self-publishing kind of stuff, it's likely that they will share that post. So if I was just doing like a book promotion thing, like, hey, my book is free, share my book launch, people probably won't share that. But by doing something kind of unique and interesting that other people can apply to their own book marketing platform, it gives me an opportunity, it gives others an opportunity to share my content because it's helpful and not promotional, which is kind of the bet I'm taking. So I spent a lot of money getting to this event in London, and I'll spend a lot of money making print materials like this, but all in all, it will probably balance out because I'll get a lot of links back to my platform, I'll get a lot of shares, people talking about, not specifically people talking about my fiction books, because they won't all be young adult readers who like the kind of stuff I'm writing, but other authors who are interested in the book promotional tactics that I use and talk about on my platform, those are likely to get shared, which is an added benefit. So you've got to figure in when you're doing anything, it's not just about the immediate return of the investment in regards to sales. You want to be thinking bigger, like what can I do that will get more shares outside of my immediate target audience? What's remarkable enough or interesting enough that people share because it's cool or different or new? And one more thing, the other thing I did was print up some flyers, which look kind of like this. And I use moo.com, which does decent print stuff, but it's actually kind of expensive compared to, I usually do postcard flyers on like overnightprints.com, which is cheaper. I like postcards because you can do like an A6 postcard and they're pretty cheap. So you can print a lot of them. So you can print 200 or 300 and they won't cost very much. With your print materials though, you have to be, whoops, my video is slowed down again. So let me stop it here. So with your print materials, you have to be focused on conversion, just like you would with your Amazon page or your website. So you don't want print materials or a postcard that just says something generic about your book and go here to my website to find out more about my book. You need something that's time sensitive. You need a special limited time offer. You need an offer like sign up for a free book or sign up for something, not just sign up if you're interested, because of course they're not interested yet. If you're promoting your book to a new audience with postcards or flyers, they haven't read your book yet, so they're not fans yet. So you can't just get them to sign up for nothing because they don't care about your books. They're not interested in your books. You have to find a way to pique their interest and give them something free before you can really rely on them as fans. So for mine, what I did was I took 5 different books, which is actually the reason that I use moo.com, is because they let you print materials where one side is the same but the other side is different. So I ordered one package of postcards and they all look the same on this side. It just got like my brand, my website, and then it says grab the free starter library, so sign up for some free books. I say I use some social proof. I don't know if it'll zoom in. The light's really bad. I used some social proof. I said there's over 8,000 young adult readers. So instead of, I also, on this side, I added some of the 5-star reviews that I have for social proof. I didn't really put like a description of the book because people don't really trust that stuff anyway. I put actual reviews. I said I already have a pretty big audience, which kind of justifies that the quality might be okay. It's more of a chance for them to take a risk on a new author because there's already a lot of people involved, and it also gives them FOMO, which is fear of missing out, because they see that it's already kind of successful. That's the kind of stuff you want to do in your flyers, because you're already overcoming this. Like, they're already resistant because they don't trust authors who are promoting themselves because there's so many of us. So you've got to do something that justifies that the quality might be okay to get them to take a chance, and then also makes it really easy for them to pick up some free books so that they can start reading, which is kind of the fun thing with these, because even if this stuff looks pretty cool, and so on the other side I have 5 different books. Anyway, there's 5 different ones. Each one has a different picture. The design is really good. I've got some good reviews. But even if they picked up one of these, the other thing I'll say, like, in person, I don't want someone taking all 5 of these because they're really the same. So I'll make them choose one, because you also don't want to be wasting your materials. But also, if you make them choose something, they'll stick around your table longer to figure out which one they're most interested in. And you want people to stick around your table live event because you want a crowd. You don't want to be like alone at the table. So that's the other huge advantage of these little booklets, is that they're free, but I won't let somebody take all 4 or 5 of them. I'll make them choose. So they'll be standing there starting to read the book to see which booklet they want to take away. They can get them all for free later anyway online, so it doesn't matter. But just like they might spend 5 minutes at my table reading these booklets, which is great because other people will come and be like, what's going on here? And for them to choose which booklet they want, they have to actually, do some reading, which is awesome. It also gets them in the story right away. And I was going to say something else, which was, I don't remember. Anyway, it gets them in the story right away. It gets them standing around your table, which is good if you're in an event because you want people around your table. Oh, it also, the more that you can give away for free, the more they will feel like they got something and they want to support you. So like if you're giving away a promotional flyer, if they take one, they feel like they're doing you a favor. And that's not great because you want them to feel like you did them a favor and they got something for free. So when you give away 4 free chapters and kind of a cool little booklet, it's not huge. It costs you $1, but they might recognize that you're giving something that's a little more valuable than just like a flyer. So they may feel good about what they got and make it more likely, especially if they've read 4 chapters and they're hooked, that's golden because they'll go and get all the rest of your books, they'll review them, they'll become fans. So there's much higher a likelihood of this booklet working than giving away, like I could give away 1,000 of these flyers and maybe 100 people will actually come to my website and download the free books. But if I give away 400 of these, I think the likelihood is much higher that people will actually either read it or they'll give it to somebody else who will read it. The offer is come and get the rest of this free book and 4 or 5 other longer free books. I could have said something like 250,000 free words worth of fiction. Eventually, I'd like to get my starter library up to like 500,000 words or something like that. So it'd be like 50,000 word books. Anyway, so I don't recommend, I know authors who go to all the events, and that can totally work if you go to all the events, but it's a lot of effort. And I think there are other things you can do online that are less money that have a bigger reach. especially if you're an introvert and you're not very social and you're not really good at socializing. If you hate selling yourself in person, which I personally don't like to do, you can do other things online that are as interesting or more interesting and a lot easier. But if you're already selling, especially, like, I wouldn't go to an event if I just had one book out, because it's probably not worth my time. But once I have like 3 or 4 series of 3 or 4 books each, so one fan could pick up 10 or 20 books, then it'll start to be worth my time to go to events, to try to get people hooked with these booklets, to sign up for the free starter library, to turn them into fans so that they can buy all the rest of my work. Then it can start to really make sense financially. But in the beginning, when you have a couple of books out, it's probably not a wise investment to go to a live event, unless you have amazing print materials that have a great offer and stress scarcity and stress, like if you do it really well, you can see some results, but most authors don't do it well. So most authors will go with a flyer, and they'll try to sell books at an event, and they might barely recoup their investment, which isn't great, because maybe they spend $200 to get there and they sell 20 books at $10 each and they've made 20 fans. That's not great. Like, they're breaking even even though they broke even for the time and the effort that they put into going to the event, it's not worth it. But if you're going to go to an event and get 1,000 leads of people who like your genre, who sign up at the conference to get stuff, to get on your mailing list, then it's okay. And my video is slow again, but I'll finish up with, you can also have an iPad with you and a big giveaway and be like, sign up right now, right here with your email on. There's some iPad apps that you can use. So they just sign up on your iPad for a huge giveaway. That can be a really effective way to get leads at a conference. Like, if I have a big sign or like a big prize or something that they can win, so they see it and it's visual and they want it, so they sign up right away at the conference, that can work really well too. So I'll probably also do something like that, but I'll make another video about that later. Thanks.